Hey friends, happy Wednesday and happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. Everything's either been happening or is happening, tomorrow, later this week. So happy whatever you celebrate. I thought we'd still pop on this week and next week for our Wellness Off the Mat series, since they're short little videos anyway. And I thought we'd talk this week and maybe next week. We'll see what I'm feeling like next Wednesday, about like some alternatives for New Year's resolutions. So I hate New Year's resolutions. And I don't know. I can't decide if this year we're all just really happy that 2020 is over or if we're even focused on next year yet. I think half of me is just like, cool, January 2021, let's do it. And part of me is in like planning New Year's mode. But I hate New Year's resolutions because I feel like we set, I don't know if they're unrealistic, but just like crazy goals. And then we fail at them by like January 3rd, and then it's over, and then nothing happens for the year. So I've learned from experience that I make more progress when I take on little chunks at a time. So it's cool and helpful, and great to set those really big, lofty goals. But then I need to like break it down and just pick like one thing. It's like if you want to start waking up earlier, if right now you sleep till like 10 a.m. and that works for you, like you can, for work or whatever, like you can sleep till 10 a.m. But you're like, man, if I started getting up at 7, I could, have all of this time and do all this. And I really want to start waking up at 7. Well, maybe really hard for some of us to go from waking up at 10 a.m. to waking up at 7 a.m. That's a big jump in time, right? But if you wake up this week at 9:45 instead of 10 o'clock, that's probably pretty easy and pretty doable. And after a few days, if that's really easy, maybe start waking up at 9:30. And then after a couple of weeks, maybe you're waking up at 7 o'clock and it wasn't so hard because you did it in these little increments. Whereas if you just tried, getting up at 7 on day one, and by like day three, you failed at it, and then it was over because you're like, oh, I suck at this, whatever, just forget it. How many times have we done stuff like that? And maybe there's a type of person that's like, nope, I'm going to set that alarm for 7 a.m. tomorrow, and you're good, you're golden. But if you're like me, you need like little bite-sized pieces. And for me, what that does is incorporates like this sustainable little changes, right? When you do one thing at a time, it just becomes part of your routine. And then I notice the impact that it makes by just that one little thing. And it motivates you to keep doing it. And then you do one more thing, right? 'Cause you're like, oh wow, like I feel so much better. Let me do this. Like I walk my dog every day, and I feel better if like the more time we spend outside. So days that like it's raining and she won't go out in the rain. It's not even up to me. She won't go outside. But days like it's raining or it's nasty outside, like we go for shorter walks or less walks, or sometimes maybe even no walks. And I miss it. So these good habits become things that we crave by just doing them little bits at a time. Anyway, let's get back to what we're actually talking about today, although all that stuff's important. So my recommendation this week, and maybe I have to do this again next week so I can come up with another alternative in case you don't like this one. But this week I thought we'd talk about vision boards. So I've been thinking about doing one for next year. I haven't done one in a couple of years, but I found one that I did a couple of years ago, so I grabbed it to just kind of show you guys. So, I just was saying like it's good to make those big goals, right? And set those big things. And then you figure out how to get there in like little steps. But so these can be a great way to like put all those things together, and maybe you even do separate vision boards. Maybe you do one for your career, maybe you do one for your house, like maybe you're planning on moving or building a house or buying a new house. So maybe you do one for your home, or maybe you want to just like redecorate or something. Um, Career, maybe you're starting a new job, or maybe just, where you want to be. And your vision board could be for a month, for 6 months, for 5 years. Maybe you map out where you want to be in your career in the next 5 years on a vision board. Whatever works for you. Your health, your lifestyle. What I have things like, um, and you can, you can write, you can cut things out of magazines. A lot of this stuff is out of magazines. I don't think you can really see it on here. There's some handwriting. Um, this is like a piece of foam board. You could use a canvas. You could paint, like get super creative. Don't worry about like right or wrong. You could print stuff out of the computer, either like pictures or words that you specifically want to use. If you don't, I don't think magazines are really that popular anymore. But so like whatever works for you. But I have things like a picture of fruits and vegetables on here to eat healthier. A little saying that says travel the world. You could use stickers. They make those really cool sticker packs for like scrapbooking and stuff. Those would be great for vision boards. You could just like dig around your house, look in your kids' stuff maybe, and see what they have and get super creative with materials you already have. You could do this on like a piece of cardboard even, or just in a notebook. Just like write things out, make it like a big thought bubble. That's your vision board. I have like a picture of a waterfall in here saying to explore nature. I think I made this 3 or 4 years ago. A lot of the stuff came true actually. Which is cool. And that's another thing, like so why do we want to make a vision board? Like there's some ideas about how to put it together. Really like just let your creativity run wild and make it as simple or as crazy as you want it to be. Make as many or as few as you want. Like I said, break it up, keep it all one big thing. It could be as simple as just in a notebook on a piece of scrap paper, or maybe you go like really crazy or get some paint out. I did this at like an event, like a workshop. But it's a great way to kickstart your year, and just, it changes up that mindset of resolutions. I feel like when we set a resolution, we're saying to ourselves, this is bad, this is wrong, you need to fix it. And that's kind of the mentality around resolutions. Maybe we have habits that aren't so great, that aren't serving our highest purpose. Maybe there are things that we would like to change or work on about ourselves. But if we come from that place of like, this is bad, you're wrong, it's not motivating. So that's that other part. Let's circle back to, I was saying, take things in small chunks and you notice they feel good. So, you wake up 15 minutes earlier and you have like just maybe a little less stress in your morning, and that motivates you to keep going. Versus if you're beating yourself up going, oh, you're such a lazy piece of shit, you sleep till 10 o'clock, you should get up at 7. That's not good self-talk, right? That's not going to make you want to get up at 7. So when we keep things, Jesus, sorry guys, when we keep things positive, and we feel the good benefits, it's motivation to keep going. So creating a vision board takes us out of that place of negative self-thought and beating ourselves up and saying we need to fix things, and it's just showing us these beautiful things that our life can have, that we want to have. And it's creating this mindset of like, I have this, right? When we're creating this vision board, we're saying to ourselves, this is my life. Like, this is what my life is going to look like this year, or this whatever. These are the things I want to accomplish. These are the places I want to go. These are the things I want to do. And we're putting it out. We're putting out this positive message into the universe that like, these are the amazing things that I'm going to have this year, versus I suck, I need to be better, go to the gym every morning at 4 a.m. Like so many resolutions we make, like that's just, it's a total mindset shift. So that's a big reason why this is kind of a better approach to starting your new year, right? We want to start off on a positive note, on a good message. And the other part of that is when we sit down to do a project like this, versus, once again, looking at the things we don't like about ourselves and the things we want to change. I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do that. Instead, like when I sit down to do my vision board, I'm going to kind of reflect on this year, look at the good stuff that happened. What do I want to take with me into next year? What do I want to keep carrying? And what are the things that like I just want to let go of? So rather than creating this negative about the stuff I want to let go, we're just gonna forget about that stuff. We're gonna say, all right, we're not gonna bring that stuff. We are gonna bring this stuff, and we're gonna start working on next year. So into next year, I'm gonna bring all of this good. And now that's my mindset. That's the approach I'm coming from, instead of I want to, this stuff is bad. So we're just not even thinking about it. We're just letting it go. All right, this stuff is staying in last year, and this is what we're going to work with. And these are the things we want to add to this pile, So in 2020, we added all of these good things to our plate, or all of them were already here, and we want to take them with us. And in 2021, we hope to bring in X, Y, and Z and keep making it better, keep growing, keep changing, keep learning. So it's so subtle and it's so slight, but it makes such a big difference when we flip those little mindset shifts, from a negative place to a positive place. How we speak to ourselves is so, so, so important. And, our self doesn't know when we're joking, it doesn't know when we don't mean it. So we want to always be really mindful of how we think about ourselves and how we talk about ourselves, and how we, approach the world in that way, and approach our lives and our hopes and our desires, because it makes a big difference. So there's my tidbit for this week. That's something I think I'm going to work on over the next week, while I'm on vacation, is taking a little stock of the past year, doing a little year in review, lots of reflection, and thinking about what's, I've already been thinking a lot about 2021 and what's to come, but really kind of getting it down and maybe putting something together. And I had this like kind of hidden behind a painting, and a piece of it was sticking out, and I saw it the other day, and I was like, oh, I think that's a good idea. Maybe we'll do a vision board. So join me if you'd like. Check out the website if you want some more information. I don't really know what I'll write, actually, but who knows. Anyway, see you guys later. Once again, Merry Christmas if you celebrate. I know that's coming up, and I will see you guys before New Year's, but Happy New Year if I don't. And enjoy these days and this time with friends and family and loved ones, and be happy, be healthy, be safe. Mwah. Love you all. Bye, guys.